What is your American dream?
I would like to see a society that is run not for profits, but for human rights, the right to health, the right to education, the right to housing, the right to age gracefully, the right to take care of young children so that the burden doesn't fall on the family, primarily women. So a society that is based not on profits, but on human need.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday, October 5th, 2021. My name is Brad Bernstein. This is Brad Show Live. With me in studio, Vanessa Nesquik Contreras, Jonathan Yo-Yo Elias, my co-host. How are you? I'm just laughing to myself because I have Julian, the TriCaster guy, in my ear. He's like 5, 4, 3, and I'm saying to myself, we can't stop this. We're going live no matter what. No. I'm like, maybe I'm not ready yet.
Ready or not,
was.
Here we come.
I was ready, and I'm ready to do the show, but nobody ever asks me, am I ready? Nope, it's 5, 4-year-old, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're going.
The squad is ready. We're ready.
We're ready.
Are you ready?
You gotta be ready.
Yeah.
And we're up on both platforms. We're on Facebook
We
today.
are. Yesterday was
good.
Yesterday was very trifling. What was wonky. I like the word trifling. I've never
You have picked up on trifling.
I have never used the word trifling before in my entire life until I met Jonathan Elias. Have you ever used the word trifling ever before you met
Not this
Jonathan?
much.
Not this
Slightly,
much.
but not this much.
I don't know if it's ever was even in my vocabulary.
It was definitely not in your vocabulary.
Isn't it like the best word to like?
I'm going to tell you something. I use it even in my regular daily life now. And not just on Brad Show Live. I was talking to a friend the other day, and my friend was telling me this trifling story. And I said, that is trifling. And my friend goes, wow, that's a really good word.
Thank you.
And I catch you on different news stories sometimes too, and it's like you can't help but agree is because it is trifling.
It's just like trifling.
It's such a great word.
It's amazing.
I'm going to tell you something. You know, like we know what we do at the end of like the year. They do like the words of the year.
Words of the year.
Right. I hope that like dictionary.com. Are you listening?
For real.
Trifling word of the year.
Yeah.
Unless it's on Urban Dictionary.
I'm sure. Oh, it's definitely on Urban
I
Dictionary.
don't know if it's in the official dictionary.
I think it should be, you know, like,
But
every,
it should be.
official.
every year we always, I don't know when dictionary.com comes out, but always at the end of the year, they always come out with the words of the year.
Yeah.
I'm really praying that trifling is a word.
We will
praying.
vote. We
will
will
vote.
vote for trifling.
All right, let's say hello to the squad, shall we?
Yeah.
Jessica Leamy, Joelle Davis, squad up, my loves. Mel Caballero Edwards Richards, squad up. Tanette Sobless Robinson, squad up, how are you? Angela Nunez, we see you watching. Day Jose, Chris Anthony, Terry Faith, Marcia McCullough, Joan Grant, Simpson Dolores, Kevin Clark, Stargirl Mika, Joy Titus, Cece Mitchell, and who else? Demba Sow. I haven't seen Demba Sow in a while. Have I mentioned her name in a while? I don't think so. Shan Smith on YouTube. K, God bless. Shetty Man Bordy. I gotta make sure I always say his name Chetty. I think Chetty is a man. I could be wrong, but I always say Chetty's. I always say man. I don't know what I say, but I never say man Bordy.
Man board.
Yeah, man Bordy. Chetty Man Bordy. I gotta get that in my head. Kyra Jones, Janice Williams, Denise Johnson, squad up, Jessica Leamy, double fisting Tali, Redwana. Razake, that's a new name. Mm-hmm. Welcome, Redwana. Sezo, also a new name, saying hello. Janet S. with a pre-schmooze question of the day. I got a question. Okay. How many places do you sign on the I-45 VAWA petition if you do your application on your own? You sign where it says your name, the applicant's name. Where it says the preparer's name, you leave it blank because you self-prepared it. So there's signatures for applicant, there's signatures for the preparer. Just sign at the applicant. There you have it.
There we have it.
All right, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, take it away.
All right, squad, you already know what time it is. It is time to share on all social media platforms. We're up on Facebook, we're up on Instagram, so it's super easy. Just click that little share button and send it to all your friends and family because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad. What's up?
Public service announcement,
Look.
Mohammed Manugu. Mohammed Manugu, new to the comments.
He is new too. We see you on YouTube.
We see you, Mohammed. Thank you for watching and welcome to Brad Show Live.
Absolutely, Mohammed. Well, guess what? We're about to start schmoozing real
Make
soon.
sure you share.
Okay?
Make sure you share, Mohammed.
But I had to stop the entire show to
For
say,
Mohammed.
For Mohammed.
We might get lost. The
Right,
comments
yes,
keep going.
Exactly.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to be talking headlines, including what a group of legal scholars from around the country have called on Vice President Harris and Senate Democratic leadership to do in order to include immigration protections in the reconciliation package, despite the Senate parliamentarians ruling against the move.
This is like, this immigration's like the cat with 9 lives. Just wait and listen to this one.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Alrighty.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's Tuesday, squad, so we'll be sipping some celebrity tea news, including the fact that William Shatner, the OG captain, James T. Kirk of Star Trek, is finally going to actual space.
That's
Oh, wow.
crazy.
That is actually
Like,
crazy.
That is really crazy. Like, beat me up, Scotty, crazy, right?
That's actually awesome, though.
Yeah, and of course you can call with your immigration questions, 1-800-529-5465, the number you will see scrolling at the bottom of your telephone or television or whatever, your iPad or computer, whatever you're watching on. That number is going to scroll through the show for the entire show. It is the telephone number to call to get on our show, as well as the telephone number to call the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, our sponsor, and coincidentally, the company in which I am the president of. In addition, I can tell you right now a hint. We have almost all our lines filled up. If you call right now, you'll probably get on our show to ask me a question. But if you wait about another 15 minutes, you will be shut out for the day.
Ooh.
And you'll have to try again tomorrow. And after we schmooze and after I take your questions and we check in with social media, I'm going to be speaking in the second part of my interview with Ukrainian American inventor and CEO of Better Way Goods Limited Liability Corporation, Alina Kravchenko, who recently appeared on the ABC TV show Shark Tank about her journey to entrepreneurship. She immigrated to America and sold the sharks a really cool product.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear this part of the story.
All right, you ready to schmooze?
Let's do it.
Do
All right.
it.
So Plan C, there is no Plan C for immigration amnesty. However, 92 legal scholars have put their signature on a petition calling for the Vice President Kamala Harris, and the Senate Democratic leadership to include all of the immigration protections that we've talked about, both Plan A and Plan B, in the reconciliation package, despite the parliamentarian ruling against the move. Now, according to these scholars, and I have to tell you something, I learned about this as we go along, because the one thing I am not a scholar of is Senate parliamentary rules. I don't think many people are. But these 92 scholars are experts in Senate parliamentarian rules. And they have wrote a letter to Kamala Harris, our vice president, Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer, Democrat of New York, and Senate President pro tempore Patrick Leahy, the Democrat of Vermont. The pro tempore is the number 2 person in the Senate. And they're saying that they should overrule the parliamentarian because the parliamentarian's ruling not to include immigration in the reconciliation package is not a binding ruling. But it is up to the presiding officer of the Senate to issue a ruling contrary to her advice. Now, the presiding officer of the Senate in a 50-50 tie is the Vice President, Kamala Harris. So the scholars wrote, as you know, the vice president serves as presiding officer when she is in attendance. And obviously, if it's 50-50, she needs to be in attendance to break the tie. And the president pro tempore, or his designated representative, serves as the presiding officer at all other times. So if Kamala Harris is not there, the president pro tempore is Patrick Leahy, also a Democrat of Vermont. At issue is the parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough, this lady here. She said on September 19th, both Plan A and Plan B. Plan A was the 4 amnesties we've talked about, which was the amnesty for the DACA recipients, amnesty for TPS, amnesty for agricultural workers, and amnesty for frontline essential workers. That was not legal to be put into the budget reconciliation. The Senate Democrats came back with Plan B, which was move the registry date, move the 245I date. She also said that was not legal. She said the language, if enacted, would have allowed the federal government to offer legal permanent residency to around 8 million undocumented immigrants and immigrants on humanitarian parole programs who would otherwise not be eligible for permanent residency. And she felt that was a law change, not a budget rule. And she said that was substantial policy changes, and the things that can be put into the reconciliation are things that control the budget. However, the scholars, these are the 92 scholars. If the Democrats want to rest on something, they can put their hat on and they could say, well, we're following what these scholars are telling us, the legal experts. They said, when determining whether a provision is extraneous, the presiding officer may rely on the Senate parliamentarian for expert advice. So, okay, we can go to the parliamentarian and ask, is this extraneous or is this part of the budget? However, as past parliamentarians have emphasized, the ultimate decision on a point of order lies with the presiding officer of the Senate, subject to appeal to the full Senate. The presiding officer, therefore, must exercise her own judgment in deciding whether a provision should be stricken from the budget reconciliation. So the presiding officer would be Kamala Harris in a 50-50 tie. She would say can overrule the Senate parliamentarian, and she could put in Plan A, Plan B, or both Plan A and Plan B if they choose to.
Oh, wow.
That could be appealed to the full Senate. But then if Kamala Harris is in attendance, the full Senate wins out, 51 Democrats for, 50 Democrats against. So if all the Senate Democrats stick together, at least according to these 92 legal scholars,
oh, wow,
the immigration Plan A and Plan B, if they choose to, or both, or one or both, can be put in to the reconciliation bill. They would have followed the parliamentarian rules, and the budget would pass with a potential immigration amnesty.
So if she's not in attendance and comes out with this, then that would be a big
She would
problem.
be in attendance. Like, of course she's going to be in attendance.
I know, but I'm saying, so why do they keep on saying, like, oh, would she, if she's in attendance or not?
Well,
I mean, what or my thing is...
She has to be in attendance.
Okay, is she going to, but do you think she's going to positively, like, 100% vote yes for it?
Well, if Joe Biden, in his second day in office, came out with the USA Immigration Act of 2021, right, which basically would have legalized everybody, and that's his policy, and this is his vice president, of course she's going to be there. The issue is going to be, are they going to get all 50 senators to agree to this? Okay, remember, one Democratic senator doesn't agree, it's like a house of cards and the whole thing fails. So it's like a Houdini act on a high wire. Okay, to be able to get all 50. Now we have Democrats like Senator Manchin and the senator from Arizona who could very well be in the Republican Party, and nobody would blink an eye and say you don't belong in the Republican Party. They're in the Democratic Party, but they are conservative Democrats. And we talked about yesterday, which we didn't know about this new idea by these 92 scholars. We talked about yesterday when some of the protesters followed Senator of Arizona into the bathroom. was saying, hey, pass the immigration laws. And I mentioned yesterday, they shouldn't be following her into the bathroom. They should be following the parliamentarian into the bathroom.
Right.
But now that we know this information, I take back what I said yesterday.
Right.
I'm glad she followed this lady into the Senate bathroom.
It seems like the Lucha organization is doing their research, so they know who they're coming. They're coming for.
That is right. So let's see what happens now. This is an important legal writing that was given to the Democrats, that the Democrats can say there are 92 legal scholars, experts out there. I mean, how many experts could there be on Senate parliamentarian rules that have signed, professors of law, experts in the field, who have signed on and said, if it's a 50-50 tie, Kamala Harris can come in and overrule the parliamentarian and put these immigration rules in place. So, just when we thought this is like a cat with 9 lives.
How long can this go on for? There needs to be a decision made.
Well, no, because they remember there was the government runs October to October.
Oh, that's right.
And we said that they passed a temporary budget to fund the government to the first week of December. So this is we are going to be talking about this between now and the first week, hopefully before Christmas, and now and the first week of December. And hopefully by that point, nothing crazy happens in the world and the Democrats are able to come to, it would be a travesty. And by the way, if they don't come together and pass this reconciliation, they've signed their death certificates as terms of politicians. Not that anyone's going to come kill them, but in terms of their careers and everything, the promises that all of these congressmen and senators and Democratic leaders have made to their constituents, the people who voted for them, the people who canvassed for them, to come back and say, we can't pass anything, it would be the end of their political careers, and next year the Republicans would take over everything. And then, trust me, the next thing you'll see is a pumpkin starting a political campaign.
Right.
All right? You'll see a pumpkin starting a political campaign.
Because Democrats couldn't fulfill their immigration promises.
Not only their immigration promises, any of their promises. You know, in this reconciliation bill is childcare, free education, the start of fixing our climate crisis, investing in America for the future. I mean, it's everything.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, everything. Meanwhile, a senior State Department official is leaving his role in the Biden administration, has sent an internal memo criticizing the president's use of a Trump-era policy known as Title 42. Title 42 is the rule that says that the United States does not have to accept any immigrants into the United States due to COVID-related, health-related reasons, and as a result can just send people home without even having any sort of hearing of whether they're entitled to stay or not. Now, we thought as immigration advocates that when Joe Biden took over and became president of the United States, he would end Title 42. He has not done so yet. And a White House official said, despite the senior State Department official leaving his role in the Biden administration, Title 42 is a public health authority, not an immigration one, and that authority rests with the CDC. It gives the administration authority to bar people from entering the country because of the health crisis. Critics have argued it is a violation of immigration law not to give people the right to have a fair hearing on whether or not they're allowed to stay. Now, former President former President Donald Trump issued Title 42, leading to outcries from many people saying that he was using Title 42 during the COVID crisis as a way to not allow people to immigrate to the United States. And of course, Trump and the whole pumpkin administration, as well as Biden, they're facing criticism over the outrageous conditions that people are living in on the border, and the fact that after living on the border in these outrageous conditions, they're literally flying them back home to countries that they have been escaping from under the guise of Title 42. There's a public health emergency. Meanwhile, yesterday, Facebook was down. Now it's up. Okay. YouTube was always up. And today, Frances Hogan, a 37-year-old former Facebook product manager who worked on civic integrity issues at Facebook, testified before a Senate subcommittee and called on Congress to take action about the actual platform that we are streaming on right now. But we will say it as it is.
You're just quoting.
No, I'm going to tell you something. If Zuckerberg wants to take us off because I'm quoting Francis, we know why we go down there. All right, I'm just putting it out there. Now, Hogan said that the Facebook products harm children, stoke division, weaken our democracy. She called on Congress to take action to prevent harm. She testified that understaffing contributes to Facebook's struggle to tackle problems, and that the artificial intelligence programs that's supposed to catch fake news and inflammatory posts are only catch a very tiny minority of offending content. She said that internal research from Facebook reveals kids believe, for example, that they're struggling with issues like body image issues and bullying. And she stressed that there's a lot of posts that are making these problems worse, not better for our children. Senator Klobuchar, a Democrat from Minnesota, asked Hogan if Facebook is using its algorithm to push outrageous content and promote eating disorders to young girls. She said that Facebook knows it is leading young users to content relating to eating disorders.
Wow.
Hogan said she has strong national security concerns about how Facebook operates. Senator Richard Blumenthal, who chairs the Senate Commerce Subcommittee on Consumer Protection, suggested that these national security concerns could be the subject of a future hearing. She said that Hogan emphasized she came forward at great personal risk because she believes we still have time to act, but we must act now. Her identity as the Facebook whistleblower, that was revealed on 60 Minutes this past Sunday night on CBS. I like saying that. On CBS. She previously shared tens of thousands of pages of internal research and documents with regulators in the Wall Street Journal. She started at Facebook in 2019. She told the Wall Street Journal that her goal in speaking out isn't to bring down Facebook, but to save Facebook. And we have a clip.
When our government learned that opioids were taking lives, the government took action. I implore you to do the same here.
Yeah, basically she said when we were, when tobacco companies were pushing fake news to people and taking and saying, hey, back in the 50s and 60s, they had internal research that knows that cigarettes cause cancer. They were not telling anybody, and then they were making cigarettes cool for young people to smoke. They were hooking generation after generation on nicotine and causing a huge health disaster in America for years with lung cancer until the U.S. government got involved. They said the same thing with opioids. The opioid companies were handing out, these painkillers like they were Skittles, and people were getting hooked, and then people were committing crimes to get them. And now she said we need to do the same thing with social media. It's a public health issue.
I agree.
You agree?
Absolutely, especially the fact that they're currently trying to push it more towards kids. I know that they halted what was it, either Facebook for kids or Instagram for kids? It was Instagram for kids.
Right.
I know they halted that, but they're purposely trying to get children in it, and the fact that they are not, they don't care that the information that's on there is on there, and they're not really, moderating it or moderating.
You think is it just Facebook and Instagram? Is it YouTube? Is it Google? Is it Yahoo? Is it Bing?
It's all of that. But when you have actual apps where you can communicate with people and other people can start bullying you through that, through comments and stuff, I think it's a little bit more than Google and stuff, because you can a parent can go on Google and put like child or parent at what is it, like a child lock on it, and you could do that on YouTube as well. But Facebook, you can't really do that.
Now, just as a last thought, she did work at Google and Pinterest, but she says Facebook is a lot worse what they're doing than Google and Pinterest. At least this is what she's saying. She said, I believe in the potential of Facebook. We can have social media we enjoy that connects us without tearing apart our democracy, putting our children in danger, and sowing ethnic violence across the world. We can do better at Facebook.
I think the more she speaks, the more I kind of like her. And now knowing where she's worked in the past, too, is really important, because even going back to these topics of eating disorders and drugs and things, just Googling it, you'll get something about it on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. All you have to do is even mention it, and the phones listen. So for Facebook to not be helping the cause, already being in such an influential time.
Well, Facebook has a artificial intelligence that flags
Cookies.
Yeah,
It is those cookies.
flags. Like, for example, on Facebook, if our personal injury department, if we put in a picture of a car crash, that always gets flagged, and we always have to. You can't have a car crash. Okay, so the algorithm, the artificial intelligence, stops legitimate post. We were accident lawyers. We put a car crash. It wasn't like gore or anything. It was just a fender bender. But that gets stopped. But things like teaching children the wrong things about body positivity. Teaching people fake news, whether it's vaccines or about democracy or theft of an election, and it's not just in the United States, it's around the world. Those things seem not to be flagged.
I think because,
and apparently they're aware of it.
Yeah, because more people share those type of things. People like to share that. And what did they say? They want to make sure that, like, Facebook makes money off of the hours that eyes are on Facebook. So if everybody keeps on sharing those fake news stories, which everybody is always interested in, they're going to keep that on there.
Now I do have to give Facebook's side of the story.
Oh.
Okay. In a statement sent to CNN Business after the 60 Minutes interview, a Facebook spokesperson said, "To suggest we encourage bad content and do nothing is just not true." That's their side of the story.
That's it.
That was their side of the story.
I was waiting for you to keep
Nope. To suggest we encourage bad content and do nothing is just not true.
Okay, cool.
There
Quite
it
a
is.
statement.
There it is. That's Facebook's statement. All right. And in coronavirus news, 43.6 million confirmed coronavirus cases, more than 701,000 deaths in the United States. That's terrible when you think about we're now close to almost 750,000 people dead in the United States. Today, Johnson & Johnson said that it submitted data to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration showing a booster shot is safe and significantly increases protection. They say the Johnson & Johnson shot should be given more than 56 days after the first shot, and the second shot offers 94% protection against symptomatic COVID and 100% protection against severe disease. Now, you know the difference between the Johnson & Johnson and the Moderna and the Pfizer. The Johnson & Johnson is like your old-fashioned vaccine that's been around for a long time, where they take a mutated and dead virus and they inject it into you, which causes your body to think it's a COVID virus, but it's not, and they provide antibodies. That's how most vaccines have worked throughout the last 100 years. The Moderna and Pfizer work differently. They send in what is called an androvirus, an mRNA vaccine, excuse me, I want to get it, sends in instructions to make a protein, and those instructions are given to through RNA into your DNA, which is why people are always terrified with Pfizer, Moderna. You're changing my DNA. No, they're just giving an instruction to the DNA to actually make a protein that would protect you against COVID, and that's the difference. I have the Johnson & Johnson. I didn't really care which one I got at the time. I just wanted one.
How do you feel about that now?
And that was the one. That was the one that was available. Well, how do I feel about that now? Well, you want my honest opinion, but this has nothing to do with medical.
Yes.
All right. I think of all three, it appears that the Johnson & Johnson seems to be the least.
Yes.
Controversial?
No. The one that works
the least.
The least. Yeah. The best one appears to be Pfizer or Moderna, depending on which people you ask, gives you better protection. However, the Pfizer or Moderna is the newer technology.
Right.
I have the old tried and true technology that people have been getting these shots for 100 years. So, on one hand, I say, all right, I got the old stuff. I'm okay, But then on the new hand, I go, damn.
Yeah.
My stuff doesn't work as good as the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I go, damn.
Yeah.
So there's no winning.
I was a
You got
conservative person.
There was no
a
winning.
Moderna mommy, but
There's
Moderna poppy.
You do Moderna. All right. And by the way, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention lists has added some more countries where Americans should avoid traveling because of very high COVID-19 cases. That includes now Austria, Armenia, Latvia, and New Caledonia. More than 80 countries are now on the list. The CDC says don't go to Jamaica. Sorry, Jamaica. That's not me, that's the CDC. Don't go to Aruba, don't go to Belize, don't go to the UK, don't go to Greece, don't go to Barbados.
Wow.
Croatia. Just stay home.
Crazy thing was I was supposed to go to Jamaica in December.
Just stay home.
Guess I'm not anymore. Wait,
I
you said
love
no
Jamaica.
Belize too?
And now Australia's Prime
My
Minister
friends
Scott
love
Morrison said
Jamaica.
the foreign visitors to his country would not be allowed back in until at least next year with the return of skilled migrants and students given higher priority. And I saw New Zealand, they were trying to get to zero COVID, and New Zealand has finally given up. I realized that a long time ago. COVID's never going away. And so now poor people in New Zealand, they were quarantining forever. And the Prime Minister has finally realized that they will never get rid of it. So now they're reopening New Zealand. At least to themselves, whether they're opening the
What was
borders.
the first country that got everyone? Was it Israel?
China.
No,
What? The first country?
that got everyone vaccinated
was
and
Israel.
numbers was going
That was
down.
Israel.
I feel like we haven't heard about them on the news anymore.
That was Israel.
Like, are they doing okay there? Like, what's the deal? Like, what?
They were the test case for everybody, and they were doing well until the Delta variant came. And what they determined was when the Delta variant came, that they didn't have the full protection that they felt they should have, and that's when they started giving booster shots to their population. And they did it without the scientific knowledge. They just decided to start doing it. And then once they started doing the booster shots, their COVID rates went back down again, which started everyone doing the scientific research to determine, is this what we should be doing? Which is now why we are getting the third booster shots. You know what they say about Israel? They say Israel is like off Broadway, and the United States is Broadway in this sense. Whatever ends up happening in Israel ends up happening here, whether it's the terrorism, whether it's the COVID, like it always happens there first and then comes here next. So if you want to see how the world is going,
I was about to say, figure out what's happening.
What's
in
happening,
Israel.
go there first. All right, we have some tea. It's tea time.
Yes.
For some tea.
Your first time
this
here.
is my first tea.
I actually need tea.
I need
too.
tea also.
It's cold out.
Well, I need tea
Oh
also.
my goodness! Look at that.
Tea.
Is this your first tea here?
time.
Well, I want you to know something. Jeremy has
this is
gotten
so
very
legit.
good with his tea. He has
I'm
gotten
so
very,
impressed.
very good with his tea. And by the way, we hope everyone in Bradshaw Live, the entire Brad squad, joins us for some tea. We love our Tuesday tea. And please,
Wait,
and
what does it say?
please have
It's
your
tea
tea as
time.
well,
Ain't-
and let us know. And let us know. What did it say?
It's tea time. Ain't
Oh, I forgot,
Thank you
ladies.
so
Trifling.
much, Jeremy.
trifling.
All right. I'm going to tell you something. He's very good with the tea. He's not very fast
It
with the
smells
service.
amazing.
The service is a little slow, but he's very,
Can I
but he's
get some
very,
of that
very good
cream?
with
What
the
is this,
tea.
cream?
Yes, it's a lot of tea. All right.
It is a lot of tea.
Ooh, I just
Thank you.
spilled the milk a little bit.
No,
we don't need
we're
spoons.
good.
Thank you very much.
Boys, this is quite the
Cheers.
experience,
You
gentlemen.
don't do
Well,
cheers?
guys.
Do you do cheers to
We
tea?
can, I'm not sure, but I'm here
Oh,
today.
very good. Very good.
So we are.
Okay.
Cheers.
Yes, well, it's Tuesday tea. We have stopped for some tea.
Nice and
I see
soothing.
why y'all. Okay.
Isn't it nice when it's quiet here in the studio for a few seconds? We just drink our tea, the
Wow.
silence.
I think I needed
Right?
this more. This looks cooler here than on Skype.
Right.
All right, so let's see what's happening in our tea. That tea is very good. Thank
It
you very
is.
much, Jay Rhymes. That was excellent. Eminem, you gonna check out it? You're gonna check out his new restaurant?
No.
No, you don't care. Mom's Spaghetti.
No.
You don't care about Mom's Spaghetti
Mom's
restaurant in
spaghetti.
Detroit.
That's funny.
I would go if I was in
cute.
Detroit. I would go check it out. Why wouldn't you?
I don't even go to Detroit.
But if you were in Detroit, but if you don't rip at Detroit. People live in Detroit. Okay, it's a place. There's lots of people there. And if
the
I
one
was,
and only time I went is when I had to do a bar mitzvah.
I went to college in Detroit. I went to
Oh,
University.
yeah?
Well, I went to University of Michigan, which is about
Oh.
45 minutes in the suburbs of Detroit in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So we used to go into Detroit every so often. Yeah, I mean it's a city. It's
I
nice.
would go to see like Motown stuff, so
Yeah,
maybe I
it's
could
nice.
stop by
Yeah,
Slim Shady's.
so Eminem, he's from Detroit, and he opened up Mom's Spaghetti restaurant.
That's funny.
And it's an ode to what his Grammy-winning tune "Lose Yourself,"
Yeah.
where he penned the soundtrack for his film 8 Mile. M-Raps M. Short for Eminem.
Yes.
Yeah, we're on a first name. We're on a first name basis now with
A
M.
nickname.
M.
A nickname basis.
Yeah, M raps early on in the song. Is M the
Mom's
first?
spaghetti, he's nervous.
Yeah, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti.
Oh, that's.
That's why I've been laughing. Y'all don't listen to. I love it.
And I gotta tell you something. I tried to read that as a rap.
Oh, I can rap it.
I can't rap that if my life depended on it.
What?
You know, it's much easier. It's much easier to say, "Oh, that's easy," until you actually have to.
Right.
That's
you
why
know?
I've been laughing the whole
Right.
time, because Mom's spaghetti, it makes perfect sense
Yeah,
off of the
Mom's
line in that.
spaghetti.
Yeah, palms sweaty, he's nervous,
Yeah,
but on the
you-
surface.
Can you rap it? Can you rap it, Vanessa?
She's
Can
rapping it.
I?
Can you rap it? Here it is, right
Can
here.
I?
It's
Of
right
course.
here. Right here.
Of course I
Yeah,
can.
go rap it.
I play this all the time.
Okay.
All right, here we go. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti. He's nervous.
You know-
on the surface, he
Oh,
looked
you
calm
know
and
it,
ready
you know
to
it.
drop bombs, but he keeps
Well, you didn't even need the card.
That was
whole
all.
crowd rolls so loud.
You didn't even need the card.
No wonder you looked at me like that when I said I wouldn't go.
Let me tell you something. That's why Vanessa's going.
Right.
She's like in line for
She's
Mom's
gotta go.
Spaghetti. Yeah.
You might as well go perform.
Yeah, it's all-
I'm gonna go cover Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, for Bradshaw Live. It's a 2-story, 14,800 square foot. That is a big restaurant.
Wow.
In
2 stories?
Yeah, 14,800 square foot restaurant in District Detroit, across from Comerica Park. Union Joints, owner of the restaurant, Union Assembly are partners with Eminem in the concept. Mom's Spaghetti will offer limited seating, but customers can place their orders at the restaurant's walk-up window. Why is it limited seating if they have 14,800
Probably
square
because of
feet?
COVID.
I guess of COVID, right. So Mom's Spaghetti.
Because of the story prior where they
COVID, yeah.
decided
but then why would you open up a 14,800 square foot restaurant
I mean,
in the middle of COVID?
Forever.
I don't know. I think it will be. Yeah. So how much do you think Mom's Spaghetti's going for at the 14,800 square foot restaurant where you can't sit?
Well, they got the to-go, like the China.
How much is Mom's Spaghetti?
I would say like 14.
What do you think?
Maybe like $20.
$9 for Mom's Spaghetti.
Oh.
$12 for the spaghetti with meatballs.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's about right.
Okay.
14
and
with
a
tax.
variety of pop or water, $4. There's also a sketty sandwich. A spaghetti sandwich. A spaghetti sandwich. $11. It's reasonable.
I'm sorry.
That's a
That is.
reasonable
I was
place.
an Eminem fan growing up.
That's reasonable.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? You think the fans would have gone crazy? Like you're selling $50 spaghetti, they'd go crazy, right?
Yeah, no, I should have known better.
He couldn't sell $50 spaghetti.
And you know, with Eminem too, he's actually like at least from what I've read and stuff, he's pretty humble. Like he's not
Right.
the type of person that would.
he wouldn't
I
sell.
mean,
He
you
doesn't
saw him-
care.
But you saw him at the grand opening of serving. Look,
Yeah.
he's hugging the fans,
Yeah.
taking pictures. That's him.
Yeah, Eminem
Taking
doesn't
the
care
pictures,
for.
yeah.
There was an interview I saw. He's like, he doesn't care for brand name and none of that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to tell you something. The most educational part of the show was watching you rap Eminem. Who knew you know all the lyrics to the song without?
Just a Jersey girl in the world.
And by the way, Britney Spears yesterday, she thanked her fans who have conducted years-long campaign to free Britney. And it looks like eventually, by November, I believe.
Wow.
When is the conservatorship? November 12th. There is a final hearing on the conservatorship, and Britney's lawyer believes that either on that date or on a date thereafter, she will be free. Her conservatorship will be over. Her father has now no longer a conservator. Somebody else is in his place, and it looks like it's going to be over very soon.
Good.
And it was from the documentary, and it was from all of the Free Britney protesters.
Yep.
She wrote, she tweeted a message to her fans. I have no words, and it was the fans who did it for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I've never seen someone who have like dedicated fans
Yes.
like that.
Yep.
They were
That's right.
fans to play with.
That's right. And she says, I have no words because of you guys and your constant resilience in freeing me from my conservatorship. My life is now in that direction. I cried last night for 2 hours because my fans are the best, and I know it.
Wow.
Yes, she is in French Polynesia, Bora Bora, right now with her fiance, Sam Asghari. And last week she was posting some naked hump day pictures on Instagram.
Yes, all the way naked though.
Yes, all the way. Yeah, all the way naked. And some commenters found it a bit much, but most cheered on her regained personal freedom. I mean, you have to think about it. She had to get permission to even make a post on Instagram.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, she's been in, I mean, not in jail, but she's been in her own private
Like social jail.
social jail. So she's like, I'm free, man.
I'll
I'm
even
free.
say-
So I understand.
I'll even say when I saw that post, I went to her Instagram and I looked at the comments, and Paris Hilton, who's one of her, closest friends from when they were younger, even she had commented, oh, I didn't even know y'all had that,
Yeah.
but I saw that she commented, love seeing you happy and free. And Paris Hilton, she has her image,
Right.
but for her to still support her friend
Yes.
and see that, that's how you know,
People love her.
People love
People
her,
love her.
and she deserves this freedom.
Yeah. Meanwhile, unfortunately for Britney, a lot of people profited from her conservatorship. Her former lawyer, Sam Ingram, he earned more than $3 million being her lawyer during the conservatorship, but never did anything. Sam Ingram, he never did anything to try to end the conservatorship. Jamie Spears, the father, he spent more than $1.3 million of Britney's money this year fighting
The conservatorship.
the conservatorship, fighting Britney
Lawyers.
to say, I want to still be the conservator. So I'm sure, we don't know what he did, but the assumption is he bilked her, out of a lot. But it looks like it is going to finally be over for her.
Wow.
So good for her.
Good for her. She
Yes.
deserves it.
You
Right.
guys think she'll sue anybody when she's totally free? Or she's just
I
gonna
think
run?
she's just gonna be cool with doing she's
Just
gonna.
living
Well,
Yeah.
now it all depends. It all depends on two things. One is after she's free, somebody's going to do a forensic accounting of all of her money and where it went. I'm sure that will happen. And then she will make a decision. Should I go after anybody who really took advantage of this? And two, if you do go after somebody who took advantage of it, do they still have money to pay me back? Maybe
Right.
the money's gone.
Right.
You go
I
after
would
somebody.
go after
you're gonna go
her
after.
dad.
You're gonna go after somebody who has 3 pennies in their pocket.
Right.
What are you wasting
You
your time
wasting
for?
your
Right.
money, your own time and
Yeah,
money.
exactly.
But if her dad has money, go after him, sis. Go
Get him.
after him. Get him.
Go get it, Britney!
Shoot.
and finally, this is amazing. Captain Kirk, finally at age 90.
So ironic.
Captain Kirk is finally going to space.
That's hysterical.
That's amazing,
That's
isn't
so
it?
awesome.
Yeah, yesterday Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin announced that Captain Kirk, the actor William Shatner, will be on the next Blue Origin flight alongside Audrey Powers, Blue Origin's Vice President of Mission and Flight Operations, Chris Bozuzian, and Glenn DeVries. Shatner sent a press release I've heard about space for a long time. I'm taking the opportunity to see it for myself. What a miracle!
That's so dope.
I'm sure he heard about space. He was
Star Trek.
He was on Star Trek for God knows how many years, right?
Yeah.
Now, besides playing Captain Kirk on Star Trek, and then he went on to play Captain Kirk on not only the television series, 7 Star Trek films. He also hosted and executive produced The Unexplained on the History Channel, which explores the inexplicable, including aliens.
Uh-oh, that sounds like our type of jam right there, Brad.
You gotta tune into that.
Yeah. Now, Shatner told NBC Today the opportunity has him thrilled and frightened at the same time, and he does have one concern. Let's watch.
What do the space guys do if they have to go to the bathroom?
You're about to find out.
Well, it's only 11 minutes, so I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
You never know.
when you're 90, 11 minutes is a long time.
Wait, is he 90?
He's 90 years old.
He's 90?
He's 90 years old, and he's going. And by the way,
That's 90?
yes. And by the way, I think he has.
Well, that's 90 edited with some makeup,
Yeah,
but
that's
even
a
in
lot
the
of makeup,
live,
and that was
the
a
live
while
video
back.
looks really good.
Yeah, but by the way, he is going to break a Guinness Book of World Records as the oldest man in space.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, our very own Captain Kirk.
Wow.
Isn't that
awesome.
great?
That's super
so
dope.
Cool.
Wouldn't it be great, like, if he goes into space and then he comes back and he's like 50 years younger? Like one of those,
me.
like one of those, like one of those weird sci-fi. We're like, what the hell happened to William Shatner?
He's all dreamy
Yes.
again, like from the 50s and 60s and
Yeah,
stuff.
or Jill said in my ear, he comes back with like Spock ears.
Oh. By the way, gentlemen, since we are wrapping up tea time, Rolls-Royce is wondering if by chance the tea will ever be spiked. He goes, any shots in the tea?
They're not today, but
A request.
perhaps Jeremy in the future may spike the tea.
Rolls Royce, can you send us a bottle? From,
Jeremy,
I think he's in the Bahamas.
Yeah, if Rolls Royce sends us a bottle, I assure you Jeremy will spike it. How's that? All right?
Listen,
I'm just scourging the comments, and that's what I found.
All right. In today's Braducation, I explain how an illegal search and seizure by the police will ultimately break down for the prosecution in court. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward, to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your decriminalization Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system, know your rights, take advantage of the law, and achieve your American dream. When a police officer has probable cause that a crime is being committed by you, the officer has a right to arrest you. This notion of probable cause comes from the 4th Amendment to the United States Constitution. It protects people from unreasonable search and seizures. It is not a guarantee against all searches, but just those that are unreasonable. If a police officer pulls you over or approaches your vehicle, provide the paperwork they ask for. But if they ask to search your vehicle, whether you have something to hide or not, your answer should always be no. No, you cannot search my vehicle. Your right is that the police cannot search your vehicle. You may notice that the police sometimes, when they stop your vehicle, look through the windows. It's because they're only allowed to search your car if they have reasonable suspicion that a crime is being committed based on what they see in plain sight. So if you have nothing in plain sight in your car, whatever they find would not be admissible in court because it was an illegal search, and the case against you would be thrown out of court. That is why the police always ask for permission to search your car. If you give them permission, it's no longer an illegal search. You invited the police to search your car. And if you are inside the vehicle and they find something incriminating, and maybe you're just the passenger in the car, whatever they find, even if it has nothing to do with you, you are still criminally liable for what is discovered. So that is why everyone in the car should say no to a police search. If 1 of 4 people in a car says yes, then the police are invited to search, and you never know what the police may find. So, you're pulled over on the side of the road in a car. Ultimately, the police are going to do what they feel like because they have ultimate power over you. The playing field is not level out on the street. The playing field levels out when you get into a courtroom and your lawyer tells a judge that whatever was discovered in your car that got you arrested does not matter because it was obtained illegally in an illegal search. Many cases are won based upon a professional breakdown of the police officer's story on cross-examination. When the district attorney questions the officer on the stand, the story will always sound pretty good, saying, yeah, I found drugs in the trunk. But on cross-examination, the police officer is going to get unraveled if no one in the car gave that officer permission to look in the trunk. And if the cop did not have permission to open the trunk or open the car door or have reasonable permission to search the car because he or she saw something in plain sight, or if they did not have a warrant from a judge, because no cop has a warrant to search when they pull you over. It's not like they have this in their back pocket. You are going to win and walk out of court. And if you are arrested by the police, remember that you have the right to a government-appointed lawyer if you cannot afford one. And by the way, Vanessa, do you know where we can see all of our educations?
Yes.
On your favorite website, right?
Yes.
OnlyFans.
Oh, why is that her favorite
I'm only making a joke. I was wanting to give me a look. You're like, hey, my favorite website. What are you announcing that for?
He always catches me off guard.
You're like, yes, of course. Somebody's favorite website. Nobody here, but that's where we are on OnlyFans Television OF.TV under the advice category. And unfortunately, for the 3 people who are wondering, I have all my clothes on. 3 people were wondering that.
They're just like, we can swipe through from one subject to
Yes.
another in between. Real
All right,
OnlyFans.
let's you ready to get to our meat and potatoes?
Do it.
Let's do it.
Hello?
All right, Ben in Philly, how are you?
Hello?
Hi, Ben.
That's right. I've been in the country for over 180 days, and I did pay for my immigration fee, and as of now, I haven't received my green card.
Okay. And your question is, where is it?
That's right.
I don't know where it is, but hopefully it'll come soon. But the good news is you're a permanent resident. You have a stamp in your passport?
That's right.
Okay, so the stamp in your passport is your lawful resident status. Proof of it, you can work, you can travel. They're backed up with green cards. It should come momentarily. I don't have a crystal ball. I have a magic 8 ball, but I don't know the exact day it will come, but hopefully soon. It's usually about 6, 7, 8 months.
But I would like to know if I am to work with this
Yes, you
this
can.
visa.
Absolutely. You're a lawful resident of the United States. The day you
That's
entered,
right. So
you're legal
what
to work.
social security number is it going to work with?
You don't have a social security number?
Yeah, because I haven't got my package yet.
Okay, so you should go online to the Social Security Administration and go apply for one. They'll let you know whether you have one or not, and they'll reissue a new one to you. Or if nothing's ever been issued, then they will give a new one for you. Go online and go to socialsecurityadministration.gov.
Please, can I tell you something?
What?
I went to the office. I went to the Social Security office about a couple of months ago.
Right.
And they did take a look at my visa, and they say that they need to contact the Department of something Justice,
Homeland Security.
Homeland Security before they're going to be. They need to do verification from there.
Right.
So right after doing that, I called them. They gave me a date that was going to take 4 weeks for them to get the info. So I called them back in the 4 weeks time, and they told me that they have not had anything still from there.
All right, so then you need to go down to the local immigration office. If there's a problem with the Department of Homeland Security providing information to Social Security so you can get a Social Security card, you got to go down to don't call on the phone. The person on the phone can't help you. They are just basically receptionists hired by outside contractors to talk to you, but they are not solving your problem by calling them. The only people who can solve your problem is an immigration officer. You got to go down to the local office, speak to an immigration officer, and get some sort of authorized letter from them to bring to Social Security to show that you're a lawful resident and to issue you a Social Security card.
I'm not going to take much of your time. I had, please, can I read this to you?
No, don't read something to me. Just tell me quickly.
Okay, I contacted the USCIS office.
Did you physically go there?
No.
Then that's
But
what
they told
I'm
me that
telling.
they've done
That
some
is what I.
request for me.
That is what
and
I.
I'm-
Listen to me.
Okay.
That is what I am telling you to do. Like I said about 45 seconds ago, when you call them on the telephone, they are not helping you. They are a receptionist hired by an outside contractor that doesn't work for Department of Homeland Security. And what they do is they are an intermediary between you and the Department of Homeland Security. So what they do is they just write an email to somebody, it goes into a black hole, and nothing happens. Okay? So basically what they're doing is they're writing an email for you when you call on the phone. All right? And it goes into a black hole. So what I am telling you to do is to go physically to the Department of Homeland Security. I've had a green card for 6 months. I need to work. I need something to bring to Social Security to show I'm a lawful resident. Give me that something so I can go to the Department of Social Security, get my Social Security card, and get to work.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, good luck.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Neil in South Richmond, New York. Neil.
Yeah. Hi, Brad.
How are you?
This is Neil. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, I have a question. I got my I-360 VAWA approved, but my I-485 got denied. And the reason for denial is, inadmissibility ground related to fraud and willful misrepresentation.
What was the fraud?
Of a material fact.
What was the fraud?
Before VAWA, me and my wife, she sponsored me, with I-130, but because of some misunderstandings, we got separated. And at that time, she provided a joint sponsor document, and USCIS recognized that document as a fraud document.
Okay.
Because the person who gave the document...
It got submitted by your wife, but you get flagged for it. So you need to file a 601 waiver. A waiver is based on hardship to yourself. When you do a VAWA case, you don't have to base it on hardship to others. You base it on yourself. I would suffer a hardship because my wife screwed me over by submitting a false document. Let me tell you what my hardships are. Generally, you need a lawyer to deal with that.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second.
I'm...
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's go to John in Aurora, Colorado. John.
Okay.
John.
Yes.
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. What can I do to help you?
John.
Hi, Brett.
John, you have to stop listening. Stop listening to the stream, and just listen to me on
great.
your.
John, my question is
stop.
this.
Stop, because you're not listening to me, John.
There's a delay.
I know,
yes.
Because he's not. He's listening. He is listening. John is listening to the stream. And John needs to shut the stream off and listen to me on the phone. So he's responding to Brad from 20 seconds ago. This is like a Star Trek episode. I wish I had William Shatner here. Scotty is 20 seconds behind us. Let's go back to John. And now hopefully John has listened to the stream. We'll shut the stream off and listen to the telephone. John. You're on Bradshaw Live.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Brad, my question is this. I've been in the country for about 16 years now.
Right.
But I'm still on my immigration process. And I have an immigration case that my last date will be December.
So wait,
my
16 years?
My niece has...
16 years, what is the process you're going through?
American lottery.
What is the process you're going through?
I'm on a proceeding for removal or something like that.
Okay, fine. So you're in removal. What'd you file for?
Yes.
Asylum?
Yes, but that is being handled with another lawyer.
Okay, so
but my question
what's
is
the
this:
question?
my niece has won the green card, and she emailed me because I'm the only one in America, and she emailed me that she needs I-34, like sponsored
An affidavit of
affidavit.
support. You need to find a friend or family member who's a resident or citizen to do it. So she needs you to go out in the world and find that permanent resident or U.S. citizen to do it. You can't do it because you're not a lawful resident or a U.S. citizen.
Thank you. And does your office take care of those kind of things?
Well, I don't find the person for you, but if you find the person for me, I can absolutely, put all the paperwork together.
Perfect.
All right?
Hold on. That's what I want to know.
Okay, hold on. All right, let's go to Renee's in Mandan, North Dakota.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm good.
What's going on?
I have a question. So my husband get approved with NVC since September 2020.
Right.
But it's the backlog. That's why he did not get interview. Now he got interview on this Thursday, 7th of October. But it's been now 2 weeks. I checked the SIAC, so everything was approved and complete, and it said it's asking me I-864 easy, incomplete.
Uh-huh.
And then I already complete the I-864.
All right,
and
so
the I-864.
then what you need to do is follow what is incomplete. If they want an I-864 easy, which is the easier form of the I-864, where you have to submit 1 year's tax return, prepare it and let him walk in to the embassy with it. So if they're asking for something, you prepare it. He walks. Don't question why they're asking for it, because who knows why? I don't know what you did in the past. All I can tell you is if they're asking for it, bring it to the interview.
But I'm not qualified for the I-864 easy. My income is low.
So you're going to do it anyway, and then you're going to ask for your co-sponsor to do it also.
I have a household member.
Then you're a household member.
But we already approve 125.
But you don't understand what the words coming out of my mouth.
Okay.
You don't argue with them. You do what they ask you to do. So do it.
All right.
Simple as that. All right. Let's go to Nicole in Houston. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I have a question. I'm married to someone in Jamaica, and I'm trying to do the paperwork for he and his daughter. And I wanted to find out if I need to put both of them on the same paperwork, or do I...
Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to file an I-130 for your spouse. How old is this child?
She's going to be 15 next month.
And you're going to file a separate I-130 for the child. 2 separate applications.
Okay, and let me ask you, do you all do paperwork?
It's what I do for a living. Hold on.
So.
Yep, I can do it from Houston, from Atlanta, wherever you are.
Okay, so I just wanted somebody to help me with the paperwork because.
All right, hold on, no worries. Nicole in Atlanta.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Good evening. I have a question. My husband is a U.S. citizen, and he filed for me in August, and I did the biometrics in September. But then they sent me an email saying that I need to send them my birth certificate, which I already did. And I don't know if they're asking for me to do it over, but the one that I have, and I called in Jamaica about it, and they said that's the original one that they give out.
1 second. Do you have the long form or the short one?
The long form.
Then I don't. Maybe it got misplaced on the application. Who knows? But follow their directions.
Because my husband and I were thinking about doing it over.
No.
Okay.
Follow their directions. They ask you for a birth certificate. Maybe you think you submitted it, you didn't. Maybe it got lost. Maybe they, ripped it by mistake. Who knows? Just follow what they're asking to do. And the quicker you get the birth certificate in, the quicker your case moves.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Okay. Let's go to Dwayne in Birmingham, Alabama. Dwayne.
Hey, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good, man. All right. I got 2 questions. I got an RFE after Because I filed two separate applications. The I-130 first, then the adjustment. Then I got an RFE, but after I got the RFE, I still went and did my biometrics, which would be 90 days, would be the 13th of this month. Do you think I'll still get the permit or my case is on hold until I answer the RFE?
It's on hold until the RFE. So in other words,
All
when
right.
you get an RFE, your case doesn't move. It's as if time stops at immigration. And then when you submit back the response to our RFE, time starts again.
Okay.
So in
next
other words,
question-
under just so you understand, under that concept, for example, okay, let's say you submit an application, and then 30 days later you get an RFE, and then it takes you 90 days to respond to that RFE, and you respond. So now your application's into immigration 120 days, but as far as immigration's concerned, it's only been there for 30 days.
Oh, wow.
All right, so do it as quickly as possible.
Okay, and the next question, Brad.
Yes.
What can I do if my wife, we're kind of going through a little rough patch now, but she's been gone as far as to call somebody she knows at a specific bank to get my information on what's in my account and everything.
What's going
What
on
can I
with
do about that?
I don't understand what's going on with you and your wife. She doesn't trust you. She's doing something behind your back. What's going on here?
I doubt it is trust issues. She's just like, I'm undocumented. I'm not supposed to be working.
But of course, you
She's
can.
kinda wanna
By
pressure
the
me
way,
to do-
by the way, an undocumented person in America who's filing an adjustment through marriage to a U.S. citizen, the fact that they are working undocumented has no bearing, zero effect on whether or not you get a green card.
Okay.
So you're fine to work as far as I'm concerned.
All right. But what can be done though towards that the bank for giving out my information to people who are not on my account?
The bank shouldn't be giving out information to people under your account unless you give authorization.
Well, I didn't. That's why I'm trying to find out what can be done.
I'm not a banking lawyer. You would need to speak to a commercial banking lawyer. I don't know the answer.
And you ain't got none in your firm?
No, we do immigration.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right, but that's a problem he has with his wife. If he's already calling a lawyer about his wife checking on him. Yikes. That's not positive for that marriage. Karen in Centerville,
Hi,
Massachusetts.
Brad.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I'm calling in regards to my husband. He filed for his kids from October 2016. And he recently became a U.S. citizen like 2 years ago. And he submitted those paperwork and stuff to them. They're in Jamaica. One of them will turn 21 this year, and the other, I think, 18 next year. We contacted UCIS. They said they sent over the paperwork in Jamaica. We emailed them about it.
Excuse me, not USCIS, the National Visa Center, you mean?
National Visa Center.
Yeah, the problem is this: the embassy in Jamaica is closed, and,
Really?
and they're not processing cases right now. And when they do, they're backlogged 6-9 months, maybe longer. Who knows? The good news is that even if your child turns 21 under the Child Status Protection Act, he or she is still considered under 21. So they're not going to lose that immediate relative status, meaning that when the embassy does open and they process, even if he turns or she turns 21, they would still be considered at the top of the line to get the green card.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck. Let's go to Mohammed in Chicago. Hi, Mohammed.
Hello.
How are you, Mohammed?
I'm good. I have two questions, Brad. First question is, do you have to wait full 5 years to apply for citizenship, or you can apply after 90 days, before 90 days?
90 days before your 5-year anniversary, you can apply.
And I got my green card on 18th April 2017. So when I will be eligible?
April 2017, April 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, March, February, January to February, February to March, March to April. Call it February 1st, 2022.
February 1st, 2022, since I got my green card on 18th April 2020.
Right. That'll be about 75, 80 days before the 5-year anniversary, and you're good to go.
1st February.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good luck. All right. Doing math on writing.
Smart man.
I try. I need a calculator for this. Tracy in Newark.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
What's going on?
I have a question to actually ask.
Go ahead.
Concerning my case, I and my husband actually meant to go for interview in a month's time, but we have different insurance, health insurance. He has his own health insurance from his company. Why may I have more health insurance?
Okay.
Is there any problem since both of us don't really have a health insurance together as jointly?
No, because they look at the totality of circumstances. If you have your own health insurance, he has his own health insurance, that doesn't mean you don't have a real marriage.
Okay.
I assume you have a joint bank account. I assume you do your joint taxes together. I assume you live together. I assume you have other documentation to prove the two of you in your house. The fact that you have health insurance separately, I think ultimately is not going to make a difference.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Really, thank you.
All right. Let's go to Patrick in Seattle. Patrick. Patrick.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Patrick?
Oh, I'm doing good.
What's
What
going
about
on?
you?
Fabulous. What's going on?
Yeah, I have a problem. That I'm from Liberia, and then I have been granted 2 times TPS, and then my I-130 approved. But when we filed I-1, I-485.
Are you doing an I-485 by the Liberian Amnesty or someone sponsoring you?
Oh, it's my wife.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So you're not doing the amnesty. That's fine. And what's going on?
Yeah, that one was rejected in 2000 and I think that was the last year it was rejected. And then I filed the Liberia Refugee Fair Act, and then I filed it by myself. And then 3 days ago, I get a letter that they need initial evidence of my passport was expired. But when I checked the online, it seems like the USCIS clarified that Liberian passport with the birth certificate can be considered citizenship.
Don't check anything online. Don't be an armchair lawyer. They send you a letter, especially if you're representing yourself. Follow their directions. It seems to be the theme of the day. About the 3rd or 4th call where people don't want to follow the direction and want to do something else. Okay? The best way to be denied by immigration is to get a letter asking for a document and then submitting something else or saying, I don't have to do it. Do exactly what they ask. Follow the rule. Follow what they ask, even if you think it's ridiculous, and you'll get through.
Yeah, but one thing is I called the embassy in Washington, D.C. for me to get a passport. It's going to take something like 4 months. And then I have 87 days to respond.
When did you get this letter?
Oh, I get almost a week ago.
Was it dated before September 30th?
Yeah.
Okay, so because if it was dated before September 30th, you get an extra 60 days due to COVID.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you can respond. Whatever the due date is, add 60 days, you're okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So, but what about if I didn't get the new passport? So I can use the old passport on the spy passport?
Yes. They want to see photo ID.
Yeah, because I have a birth certificate and then my passport was a spy.
But submit a photo of your passport, whatever you have. That's what they're asking for.
Oh, so the spy one is okay? Or
what words don't you understand? They ask for a photocopy of the biographic page of your passport. Submit it. If that's what you have, that's what you submit.
Oh, okay.
All right.
But though they was talking about unspy passport, but my passport is already spy.
They want an unexpired passport. You can't submit it yet. You submit what you have. Wait to the end. Submit what you have, and you can even submit that, some documentation showing that your passport, you're still waiting for the new one to be issued.
Oh, okay. So that would be good, right?
You don't have a choice, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, though.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
One of the things people have to learn today, follow their directions.
Listen to Uncle Brad.
They asked for a copy of a passport, but I want to do this. Yanaldry in Brooklyn.
Okay. Hi, good night.
How are you?
Good. You?
Good. What's going on?
So I'm calling because I called to your program the other day. I told you about that I got an ACD because I have a fight with my son, but I didn't tell you that he's 17 years old and I have two cases, one in the criminal court and I got recharged, and in the family court too. In both cases, I got the ACD.
Right.
And the question I asked you the last day was if I'm going to be okay, but I just talked to you about the criminal case. I didn't tell you about the family court. If both cases get dismissed, do you think I'm going to have problem for the citizenship? I never been arrested before. I pay my taxes. I do everything.
I think if you have an arrest within the statutory period of 5 years of proving good moral character, it could be a problem. If all of the cases are dismissed, you still have to prove good moral character. So let's go through what you have in this past 5 years. You have what? Let's go through it individually.
So not just that. I never been involved.
Let's go through it again. You have what?
So okay. I was arrested because I have a fight, as I told you, with my son.
You had a fight with your son, which it could be a domestic violence issue. It was family court or criminal court?
It was both, but I got ACD in both cases.
Okay, fine. So and then what year did this happen?
That happened like in this year. That happened this year.
So it was two separate incidences in which you were arrested?
No, just one.
So why do you have two ACDs?
Because the ACD come through the family court. I was arrested.
Why do you have two?
Because the case was in the family court too.
Okay, so you have one incident in which it got dismissed. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, all right, so you had a bad day. It goes back to you had a bad day. You had one arrest. That's why I was confused. You had one or two arrests. All right, so I said, let's go through it again. As far as I'm concerned, you had one arrest. It was dismissed. You should be okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Okay.
Let's go to Satish in Sydney, Australia.
Hi, Brett.
Hi, Satish.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I have a question. Back in 2004, I was there in H1B visa, and I stayed there only for 1 year. So I was back in 2005. However, the visa got expired. The petition got expired in 2007. The question is, can I apply for H1B transfer under recapture of the remaining period of the H1B? After this many years, which is almost 17 years now?
No. You would have to do a whole new case.
It has to go through the new H1B.
Correct.
Because I read that some, online, there are cases where people applying for the based on the old, if it is
No, but you're Australia. Are you an Australian citizen?
Yeah, that's right.
So why don't you do an E3? There's no cap. It's the same as an H1B.
But if we the dual intent is only within the H1B, so that's the only reason why. So because E3 will be a bit difficult. That's what I understood, to get a green card eventually.
But you do an E3 so you can get back to America, and then you change your status to an H1B if you can get into the lottery and you win, and then you do a job sponsorship. That would be my advice.
Right.
Okay.
But it's not possible to recapture.
You're not recapturing something from 17 years ago.
Okay.
Let's go to Robbie in Buffalo.
Hello, how are you today, sir?
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm very lucky to get you today.
Thank you.
So I have a question about immigration process. I came to America more than 3 years ago. So after 6 months of entering in America, my visa was expired. So my mom, she's a green card holder, so she applied for me as a family petition. So is it possible to do to adjustment of my status, please?
You're over 21.
Yeah, I'm over 21.
When did your mom get her green card?
It's almost like 2 years ago.
Who sponsored her?
My sister. She's a citizen.
And you overstayed your time by how long now?
3 years now, but after the 6 months of entering, then my visa was expired.
Okay. So you can't adjust your status because you overstayed your time and you're over 21, not through your mother. The only way you're adjusting your status is through marriage to a U.S. citizen. If your mom's going to file for you, she's got to file an I-130 visa petition. You get put on a waiting list for 5, 6, 7 years. At the end of that case, you would have to do a provisional waiver, go home, and come back.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. And by the way, if you didn't get your immigration questions asked and answered, we're having issues on Facebook, right? Yeah, you know what? I could have called it because we were talking about, I know. Right? Right? I called it.
You did, right on time, too. And I refreshed.
I called it. I called it. What, Julian?
Mike's.
Turn my mics on.
No, you're good. Probably.
Okay. So anyway, if you didn't get a chance to get your immigration question asked and answered, you can always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. Drop me a DM, and I'll be happy to answer your question as best as I can. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. If you can't handle 2 hours of our show, or for example, if you were watching on Facebook and missed the second half of the show, and you'd like to get 30 seconds more of us, follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram. And if you just can't handle enough of my immigration advice, you can always follow us on TikTok and leave a question in the comments or in the question and answers, and you may very well get a video response from me as well.
And you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
And later in the show, after Yo-Yo and Vanessa scours our comments for the best comments, questions, and issues that they're going to ask of me in social media check-in, we're going to hear the second part of my interview with Ukrainian American inventor and CEO of Better Weight Goods LLC, Alina Kravchenko, who recently appeared on the ABC TV show Shark Tank, and about what led to her to become a successful entrepreneur and to be able to sell her products to the sharks.
And now we're taking a moment to recall a VIP moment in Brad's interview with New York-based Syrian-born visual artist Rashwan Abdelbaki.
When I applied for my green card, I was asking myself, who is the guy who will decide that I don't know where he is or she is, whether Rashwan will get the green card or not?
I'm going to tell you something. That's a really amazing point. You have this unknown person,
exactly,
in an unknown location that you don't meet, that you don't know their name, you don't know anything about them, and they decide everything about your life. Your life changes completely if you granted a green card.
Exactly.
All right, let's check out social media. Check in. We're checking out and checking in with social media.
Yeah.
Okay, our first social media question comes from Ludo C, a Brad Squad VIP member. If you're not already a Brad Squad VIP member, you must be. It's on our Facebook, and the first 5 questions that we see on our Brad Squad VIP page will be the first 5 questions that get asked on social media check-in. So they ask, I filed for an I-130 in July of 2020. I am a lawful permanent resident. I got my receipt notice in December of 2020. It's been a year and 3 months of waiting. How long do I have to wait to get approved?
Who's sponsoring who?
No, I am a lawful permanent resident. I didn't get a sponsor.
What is it getting approved then, if he's already a green card holder? I'm totally confused on this question. Can you read it one more time, or did I completely miss it?
I filed for an I-130.
I'm a lawful permanent resident. I filed an I-130.
I got my receipt in December.
Who are you filing for? We don't know. And who's getting the green card? Okay, next.
Okay.
All right, that doesn't even count as one.
Okay.
All right.
As if Khan, Brad Squad VIP member, how can I become legal if I've overstayed on a B1 B2 visa since 2013?
Call a lawyer. We got to figure it out.
Ali Ikram on YouTube. Is there any hope for undocumented people?
I hope so.
Mubarak Urakuva on YouTube. I had my asylum interview in 2018 and my case is still pending. I don't know if I passed my interview or not. I don't know anything. What should I do?
Well, we need to follow up with immigration and find out. That is for sure. And if not, do a threat of a mandamus or an actual mandamus to get them to make a decision.
Avriel Miller on YouTube. Can someone within ITIN apply for a tax refund?
You will not get a tax refund with an ITIN, but once you get your social, you will.
T on YouTube. My husband and I have separate health insurance from our employer. Can it be a factor on the day of the marriage-based interview? We have other joint documents together aside from health insurance.
Answered, and the answer is not a problem. I answered that one.
Oh.
Nixta G on YouTube. How can I get my daughters ages 12 and 14 from France as quickly as possible? My husband is a U.S. citizen.
File an I-130 visa petition for each of them separately right now.
Okay, Ma Dukes on Facebook. My friend is from Jamaica and married to a U.S. citizen who's ready to file for her and her adopted child who's under 18 and was adopted before marriage. Can he file for the adopted child?
There's no friend sponsorship. A friend sponsoring for a friend?
My friend is from Jamaica and married to a U.S. citizen
married
who's
to a
ready
U.S. citizen.
to file.
Okay. You can file for the wife, obviously the spouse. You can file for her adopted child if she has a legal adoption. That adoption is more than 2 years, and you can prove that she lived in the household with that child for 2 years. Then that child would legally be allowed to immigrate to the U.S. as an adopted child, and you would be sponsored by the step-parent, yes.
Daryl Winba on YouTube. I just filed for change of status from B2 to F1 and have biometrics next Wednesday. Can I get married in November to a green card holder who will be filing for her citizenship next year in May?
Yes, and if you're in legal status, you'd be able to adjust your status. But wait until you get your student visa first. Wait 90 days so there's no misrepresentation issue. Then get married while in legal status. You would be able to adjust.
Okay, Jessica Limi Joel Davis on Facebook. How soon after an LPR husband applies for his citizenship must the immigrant apply for the green card?
Right away.
Sezo on YouTube. Can a conditional green card holder re-enter the U.S. with a green card only and without their country's passport?
No.
Mr. Biggs on YouTube. Can my wife come stay with me till I file for her? She's coming here, coming on her visiting visa from Jamaica, and I'm a green card holder.
Well, if she's on a visitor's visa and she stays for 90 days and visas remain current to the F2A category, not only would she be able to stay, you'd be able to adjust her status here.
Janet S. on YouTube. Do I need to submit an affidavit of support for a VAWA I-485?
No.
Zach Latif Rahman on Facebook. My wife filed for naturalization with her mom and her sister filed separately. They got their interview this month, but my wife hasn't gotten an interview yet. Do you know why? Could it be because of me? Because I'm out of status?
Just luck of the draw.
And last one, Olatau Adaju Aburu on Facebook. I applied for my green card 18 months ago. I went for my interview 6 months ago, but since I applied, they have not sent my social security number or my SN. Sent no work authorization and have not gotten back to me. What can I do?
He got his green card 6 months ago.
Got his green card 18 months ago.
18 months ago.
And went on my interview 6 months ago, but since I applied...
No, you didn't get your green card 18 months ago and go on an interview 6 months ago. They applied 18 months ago. He went for his interview 6 months ago. And what did he... We don't know whether he got approved or not. So it sounds like there's a pending case. And in the meantime... Hopefully, if he adjusted his status, he got a work permit and he could get and if not, he should file an I-765 with the Social Security, and then he'll get his Social Security number with the work permit. All right. Alina Kravchenko, she's an inventor and CEO of Better Way Goods, LLC. She recently appeared on the ABC TV show Shark Tank with her first invention, the Swipe and Snap. Yesterday, Alina and I discussed her journey to America from the Ukraine when she was 9 years old. Today, we discuss how she turned a tough time in her life being a young and struggling single mother into an idea that eventually led her to a successful entrepreneurship. Let's watch.
Alina Kravchenko is a Ukrainian-American inventor and CEO whose mission is to empower women one invention at a time. The busy single mom taught herself how to patent her creations on her own, and on January 22nd, 2021, Alina appeared on the ABC show Shark Tank with her first invention, Swipe and Snap, the U.S. patented one-hand diaper cream applicator, where she caught the attention of the sharks in more ways than one. And she has just recently launched the Toner Bum, the world's first and only U.S. patented glute toning dumbbell. Joining me to discuss her family's immigration journey and her path to becoming a successful inventor and the CEO of her own company is Alina Kravchenko. Welcome, Alina, and thanks for coming on.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm really excited to talk to you and be able to be part of this conversation.
Was there ever any day when you were at your lowest low that you said, "Boy, America's awful. This is a terrible place. Why am I here? What am I doing?"
Oh, never. I mean, there are angels all over America, like just kind people willing to help. Everyone from me calling the patent attorney office and saying, "I don't know how to write a patent." And this lady's like, I suggest this book and you should read this book. And it's just like these magical people that are living in this country that are just so eager to help you and want you to succeed. It's really magical.
So let's talk about your first invention, the Swipe and Snap. When did it hit you?
So I have now my baby, who is 20 pounds, giant human I gave birth to. When he started crawling, it was around age like 3 to 4 months, that he was just like squirmy. I mean, to change a diaper is like a wrestling match. I'm like, I gotta like get this cream on you. And you know, I have very sensitive skin, so I guess he got that from my DNA. So I'm a very like clean person. I change his diaper like 10 times a day. And I'm sure I do all the right things, but he had the worst rash, and it was just so hard to like open up his diaper and see how bad it was. And I had to apply the ointment at every single diaper change. If I didn't, he would just break out in this huge rash and it would blister. So I went to his pediatrician, like, this is a huge problem. I feel like a terrible mother for, you know, not doing the right thing. And he said, "No, everything right. This is actually very common. Like, that's why there's ointments, right?" He said to me, the most important thing, other than you applying the cream, is you holding the baby with one hand at all times. I was like, "Have you tried that?" He's like, "Yeah, straps don't work. Like, when you strap your baby with the little, like, though the babies still fall." He said, "You may worry about this rash, and that's great. Like, that could be taken care of. You know how many babies come into my office that have from the changing table because their parent just let go for 1 or 2 seconds just to get a diaper cream." Right. And he's like, "That's when you're gonna have a big problem, when your baby has a broken leg or, God forbid, could die." Right? When that happened, like, my maternal instincts kicked in, and I was like, "I'm gonna hold this baby with my like entire like hand the whole time. I won't even let him go," because it's true. Like, babies can roll very easily. And when you're changing a diaper 10 times a day, 1 second, boom, on the ground. And I don't want to have that anxiety. So literally, I have the tube, and I love Desitin. It's always been my favorite. So I'm like, okay, well, I got one hand here. I'm holding the baby, and I got this tube, the cap off. So I'm able to do that with my thumb. Now I'm like, okay, well, I need to squeeze it on my hand to smear it. I'm like, what if there was like a little applicator that I could just, you know, magically swipe on my baby? And it was in my eye, like I saw the vision for Swipe and Snap. And let me show you the vision.
Sure, how's it work? Yeah, show us how it works.
So here's the Swipe and Snap. So you take the applicator, okay, and you see here the applicator has this slit. This slit allows you to control the amount of cream, and it swipes clean. Okay, so watch this. You take your cream, and then you take your original cap and take it off and replace it with a Swipe and Snap. You just twist it on there, nice and snug. Now, as you can see, when you squeeze the ointment, you could squeeze as much or as little as you want. So if you really need a small application, you just squeeze a little bit. But in my case, I wanted a really thick application. So you see how this will allow you to apply the cream very nicely and evenly. So you have this little soft, super soft applicator that really allows you to distribute the cream. And you know, the baby has crevices, so you can really get this in there. And the magical part is the suction cup base lid. So you place this on your changing table, and then you snap this right in. Voila. So when you change your baby, you literally just pull this. And I got a little baby here.
Show us.
Ready to go?
Right.
Okay. Hold on. So you're like, well, this baby's pretty still, but if this was a real baby, trust me.
Squirming all over the place.
So here we go. You pull, you squeeze your cream.
Right.
You swipe it. Now, if you want to be one of those like clean parents, which I am sometimes, you could wipe this in between with just like a napkin or a hand sanitizer, and swipe's totally clean.
All right. The doctor says you got to hold the baby. You got the cream in the other hand. You don't know how you're going to do this. You come up with this idea. What'd you do next? You woke up in the morning and did what?
I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing, you need to patent this. I'm like, okay, fine. But it's like an internal dialogue I had where I was like, I don't know anything about how to patent things. I mean, I just know how to advertise products, but I don't know how to patent.
And just to set the stage, you're still most likely on food stamps, struggling, no support system. Lots of people are watching right now, have come up with a lot of business ideas and have no idea what to do with it. Tell them what you did.
You got the internet, and as long as you have the will, there's a way, right? The internet is a magical library, and it's so easy to just Google whatever you want to know. I mean, that's how I got this far. The knowledge is there. You just have to know how to find it and take the time to learn and apply yourself. That's really it. So I Googled how to get a patent, and I landed on the USPTO website, which they had a phone number, and I had a phone. So I called, and I got a hold of this very nice lady, and I said, I don't know anything about writing a patent. I have this idea I want a patent. What do I do? And she says, I have a lot of people calling me with the same question. I recommend this book. So, okay, step one. Step two, gotta get this book. I read the book. I knew I didn't have like a timeline, so I gave myself a year. So I filed for something called a provisional patent, which basically is just like taking a ticket at the butcher, waiting your turn in line to actually get an examiner to review your patent. And so I submitted it. I like to call it planting the seed.
Right.
So I planted the seed of the idea. And I told myself that between the time I planted it and whenever I get the patent, if I get the patent, I'm going to drop everything I'm doing, whether it's a job I'm working, and I'm going to liquidate everything I own and bring it to life. And that's what I did.
How long did it take you to get the patent?
About 5.5 years.
And that patent then gives you the right to sell this idea. And if anyone steals your idea, they can't.
That's right.
Did you ever think you were ever going to get it? Or you were like, forget it, whatever, this is never going to happen.
I had this inner feeling that I was not only going to get the patent, but also get on Shark Tank.
How do they notify you get a patent?
So I remember walking out of my building and checking my emails during lunch and scrolling through my emails. And I see that my patent attorney had wrote me an email saying, congratulations, you're officially an inventor, he said. And I was like, yes. I like the sound of that. And I had this moment of like time stood still where I knew my entire life was going to change from that moment. I knew I had to quit my job, liquidate everything I own, and bring this to life.
You now have the patent 5.5 years later, because people are watching like, well, okay, you have a great idea. You got the patent. How do you get this manufactured?
I had to first face a lot of internal fears of, is this good enough? Is this worth the risk, right? It was all of this like internal struggle. But once I overcame that, I knew I needed money, capital to bring this to life. So I did find a manufacturing company through a trade show that I did. So I recommend that whoever has like a physical product to find trade shows that are in that industry to be able to network with people. You don't necessarily have to have a booth, but it's important to attend to meet the right people in order to find the connections. So I did find a manufacturing company and I gave them the drawings for the product. My goal initially with the product is to market test and make sure I have the best physical product, right? As a mother, I want to make sure that the consumer is almost perfect. Like, you can only get it, but I was like, that's going to be my goal. And even though I may have to take more time and more money to do that, I'm okay. I'm not in a rush. I'm in a rush. I want to make an amazing product that people will use, that's helpful for them, that will keep their baby safe and their hands clean, that makes it super easy to apply the cream.
So how did you test market all of this? And how did you know to make changes to it?
Right. So what I did was, first, I took all my savings and I actually made the Gen 1, which was, it was a blue one and it looks slightly different than this. And I went to pitch competitions to get more funding so then I could market test, because I didn't have like a lot of money for advertising. And I honestly didn't really know what I was doing as an entrepreneur. I knew ideas and I knew how to create a website, but I didn't really know how to operate a company. So my goal really was to keep learning and growing as an entrepreneur. So I wanted to partner up with someone who had already had experience operating a company and had an exit, so they knew how to sell a company or license. So I found my current investor at a pitch competition, and he runs a bunch of companies. I asked him if he was willing to mentor me, and I'm like, I'll work for you for free. I will do whatever it takes. Like, I want to learn. I want to grow. Like, that is my goal, is to become the most competent CEO I can. And so he did invest in my company, gave me $60,000 for 5% equity. And that money allowed me to really market test, which I went to another trade show, actually got a booth, was able to get feedback.
What changes did you make from Gen 1 to Gen 2? What was the feedback?
There were multiple sizes of tubes. So there's like this thread and then a slightly larger thread. So people wanted it to be a little versatile. So I patented a double thread applicator, but really the main feature is like the suction cup base lid and the super cool applicator.
Right.
So that was one change. And another change is the way the cream comes out. So it wipes totally like clean. So if you squeeze just a little amount, you can swipe it super soft and it swipes clean. So there isn't any cream left. So it allows you to save the cream so it won't be on your hands, and it's hygienic. So I knew this product needed a partner. So even though it's own product, it needs an attachment, right? It needs a diaper cream. So after doing my initial market test, I knew that this was a licensing game where I need to find companies like Desitin to be able to partner with Swipe and Snap and have it already built in. So consumers can just buy it as a whole. They don't have to worry about, does it fit the cream or any of that. It's just one unit.
And then you just license out your patent technology and you just wait on the royalties as they come in.
Exactly.
All right, tomorrow we're going to hear more about Alina's experience appearing on Shark Tank, what her final deal with the sharks was, and her advice to all inventors and entrepreneurs. You ready for 50 seconds and our 9 last immigration questions? Hopefully you get out of here safe and sound.
Out of the studio, we'll be safe and sound.
Yesterday I scared everybody. I won't do that again. Can you imagine you asked the question? I refuse to answer that question. No, I will answer all of it. Go ahead.
Can a DACA recipient travel abroad safely with advanced parole?
Yes.
If I am convicted of felon and got married, could they deny my spouse's residency?
Not unless you're a child predator.
Can an adopted U.S. citizen bring their biological mother to the U.S.?
No.
Does a previous failed green card application affect ESTA or a tourist visa?
Perhaps yes, because you have to show an immigrant intent, a non-immigrant intent.
Can a green card holder apply for his fiancée?
No.
What is RFE?
Request for further evidence.
Is it possible to lose my citizenship after being a citizen for 5 years?
No.
Is it too late to renew a U.S. passport that expired in July of 2020?
No.
Can I adjust my status if I committed a felony at 17 and got charged as an adult?
Depends what the felony was. What happened to our numbers? I didn't know how many more we had left.
Number.
I was like, nobody's talking.
Exactly, yeah. Here you go. Pressure's on you, huh? You wanted to play us yesterday?
That right there, you said you wanted a little harder, so now there you go.
I got counting the I gotta start counting, but we got the balloons anyway.
We got it.
All right, we did it. High five.
High five.
All right.
High five.
All right. Comments of the day, guys.
All right, y'all. First comment of the day comes from Carol Anderson, the Tiger, saying, "One big happy family. Brad team, show the love you all."
Oh, thank you.
Okay, our next one comes from Merlin Bent saying, "Bradshaw Live all day, every day."
Wow, we got a lot of people who love us.
Yes. And our last comment of the day, Mosini saying, "Thank you guys for this channel. I've been watching you for 4 years now. I love it. Thank you guys so much. Keep it going."
Oh, wow.
That is
Thank you.
a real
Thank you.
VIP.
Thank you for watching.
Yes.
All right, he's a silent watcher.
Yeah.
He doesn't comment a lot.
Right.
All right, we'll see you all tomorrow for Hump Day. Thanks for watching. Be safe. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465.